All right, this next area is kind of fun. We're now going to start looking at your skills. He's got skills. She's got skills. Well, what are those skills? So let's start thinking about other than your main occupation. Okay, other than your main occupation. List any other skills that you possess, whether or not you think you excel at them. You don't have to be the greatest and the best at this particular skill. For some people, it might be playing video games. For others, it might be good at cold calling. I know I'm not in that category, so, but what skills do you possess? Other than your main occupation. This is important. You go to work every day, you do your work, and you do it well, hopefully, and you interact with people well. But other than your main occupation, think about some of those family members, or maybe it's you, that you work at an assembly line. Well, other than working at the assembly line for this particular moment, what other skills do you possess? All right, so this next particular component of where we are in the skills level, keep in mind that you may possess some skills that will also be beneficial to your community. I've got a good friend who was told by several people that he's very detail-oriented, he's got great organizational skills, and he works well with the public. And several people started talking to him, my friend Jared, about maybe running for the city council. Well, guess what? He said, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I ought to try that. I don't really enjoy politics, but I am very passionate about my community and making sure my community is taken care of. So here's the next area. List 3 things that you would like to see improved or changed within your community. List 3 things that you would like to see improved or changed within your own community. Okay, now we're going to move a little bit further away from the community aspect. And now I want you to write down 3 things that you would like to change about you. 3 things that you'd like to change about yourself. I won't get too personal on this, but it could be a goal of yours to be able to talk to people in a more confident way. Well, that's what this exercise is going to help with, number 1. Maybe it's you want to be on time more often. Maybe it's you would like to be more passionate and dive into your work a little bit better than what you're currently doing. I don't know what it may be, but take a few minutes and write those down. And then this next area, what I want you to focus on, it's kind of an interesting question. If the world were perfect, what would your world look like, and what would it include? If the world were perfect, what would your world look like, and what would it include? Most of us are going to go to high-tech things in our mind. Others may just say, if the world were perfect, I'd be sitting on the beach all day, man, with my feet kicked up and a drink in my hand and listening to the waves crash. Okay, that's cool. Well, if the world were perfect, what would your world look like, and what would it include? I know for a couple of my kids, the world that would be perfect was being on a snowboard all day long and going down the mountain as fast as they could. Others, it might be, if the world were perfect, what would it look like and include? It might be something to do with mobile technology that would make your life a little bit easier. It might be a way to figure out how to make money a little bit easier and faster and not be so difficult all the time. I don't know what it would be, but let your mind go wild here for a second. If the world were perfect, what would your world include? And again, what would it look like? Okay, so now many people that take my courses are taking the course because they either want to launch a business or they want to improve their existing business operations and grow their business to a wildly successful level. So either one of those sides. So now I want you to focus on the business aspect of your life, and I want you to do this exercise where you're writing down 5 things. Okay, so these 5 things are what I want you to list as the top 5 reasons you want to go into business for yourself. And if you're already in business, then list the top 5 reasons why you went into business. And if making a lot of money is one of those reasons, then put it down. If having more freedom and independence is one of those things, put it down. If getting away from your crazy, goofed up, weird boss is one of those things, write it down. No one's going to see this except you, but I want you to see it so that you can start analyzing where you really are. See, this is kind of a cool exercise, right? Am I right or am I right? Yes or no? And it's okay if I'm not right. I've been wrong many, many times in my life. And I didn't mean to make that sound too arrogant, but it's kind of a fun little process. Starts to get you thinking a little bit of where you are and what you're doing and how you're accomplishing things in your daily routine and how you can do better, how you can improve. Okay, so the next area is basically going through the rest of the thought process. In addition to becoming more financially independent, what else do you want more of? Okay, so we all know we want to be financially independent. Okay, that's usually always the first thing that everybody thinks of. I want to have more money. Okay, that's great. Let's set that one aside. We know you want to have more money. I want to have more money. We're capitalists. That's why we're here taking this course. So in addition to becoming more financially independent, what else would you like more of? Is it time? Is it technology? Is it gadgets? Is it a new boat? Is it your own island? What is it? What would you like more of aside from being financially independent? For some, it may be I want better health. For guys like me, you may even say I want more hair. Hopefully that wasn't offensive to any of you follically challenged men out there, but take a few minutes to figure out what you would like more of aside from being financially independent. Okay, we've gone through the exercise, you've written down a bunch of things. Now, if I was with you in person, I would start showing by the raise of hands, well, who had an aha moment? An aha moment is, oh, okay, aha, that's the way that I'm feeling. I get that now. Now, here's the question I want you to answer. What did you learn? And how can you implement this newfound data, this newfound criteria that you have for yourself? How can you implement it? You know, usually in business we start to look at putting together a solid plan to start off with. We've talked about that already. Then we look at, well, what about changing our ways? And then how do we execute what we just found out about? And how do we execute on our plan? So take a few minutes now and write down a few of your thoughts of what you learned and why they're important to you and how you can implement some of these new things that you just found out about into your daily routine. So now that you've gone through this little routine of writing down answers to these pretty important questions and assessing you and assessing your thoughts and assessing even your behaviors, now the key component here is not only to execute on some of those things that you've learned and start to get a crystal clear understanding of where you want to head to in your life, what you want to become, what you want to change. Now I want you to also start thinking how you can take this list of answers to these important questions and start not only implementing them, but I'd like you also to review them. Set them aside for now, maybe pick it up in a few hours, share it with some family or friends. Have them answer some of these questions with you. Review that with them. Next week, a week from now, I want you to review this same list again. And I want you to review it again in a month. Why do I want you to do that? Because life changes. Because life happens actually. Things come into your life where things may seem a little bit different even 30, 60, 90 days from now. But I want you to take some time and go through these questions. By the way, all these questions are also in a couple of books that I've written, so They're an important element of figuring out what this is all about and becoming an entrepreneur, and also how we can make some of these changes in our lives to become more effective and more efficient so that we can execute better in this business that we're either launching or the business that we're already operating. I'm grateful that you took some time to go through this. I hope it was beneficial for you and meaningful. I'm Brian Hazelgren. This is one more segment you just completed. Nicely done. We'll move on to the next one, and I'll see you on the other side again.